Hey, I'm Dr. Jenna Scare, better known as DocJenFit on Instagram, and I'm gonna share with you my secret to how I hit 6 figures on my first ever launch of my product in 1 week. So let me show you and talk you through a little bit of how I did it and why I think it was just so beyond successful. It blew me out of the water. It surprised a lot of my huge influencer friends. They couldn't believe it. So how did I do that? First of all, I had a well and growing social media. I nurtured this thing like crazy. So I had already been giving so much free information for 2 years before I even launched. That's my first tip for you, is really giving without asking for anything in return. And I have people coming to me, well, you're giving all your secrets away. How are you doing that? Aren't you afraid? And it's no, not everyone can get helped from a 1-minute video on social media. It's just not enough. They need to be guided. They need to be taken through a sequence. So I knew ultimately there's so much more that's needed within the body, specifically for what I do as a physical therapist. And then hopefully along the way, guide them to something that could be deeper, that could really be better and more beneficial. But my social media started growing without ever the intention of creating an online business. So I genuinely was really giving just to give, because I had people who were buying and who would reach out to me and say, you have given so much information over time, I want to buy your course. I don't even know if everyone used it, but they were so grateful that I had been showing up for so long that they wanted to give. I was blown away. My next thing is that I really asked for support. So obviously not from people that I was selling my course to, but to friends and family. You have to understand, even if they don't have a huge following, even if they are no one in social media, they have their little pocket of people on Facebook. They have their pocket of friends and family who already know, like, and trust them without having to do anything. So if you ask your friends and your family to just share your product, to share what you have put out into the world, you'll be surprised how much that's going to help and benefit you. All it does is we're increasing our awareness. We're getting that product out there and we're allowing it to be shown. So I literally wrote down a whole list of people at the time when I was going to launch. And I was inspired actually by Jesse Itzler, and his whole speech as to what I had heard at the time was just ask. Even if the answer is no, you have no idea unless you ask. So I went through this list of friends and I just texted everyone and I said, hey, no pressure here, but I'm launching this free thing. So I did a free week challenge essentially into my launch. And so I wasn't asking people to promote my product. I wasn't asking people to promote what I was selling. I was asking people to promote this free giveaway that I was giving before I launched. Huge influencers who are physical therapists, chiropractors right in my own industry supported me. In fact, Vinny Rehab, he actually shared my link to my product after the free challenge. He put it in the link in his bio. That's how much support I had from people around me, because I built community. I created something that was surprisingly just so organic, and I'm incredibly appreciative of the support in the community I have. But you have to realize you have support and community around you. You just have to ask for it. The next thing that I really highly recommend is that you just have to show up. So anyone who came into my free challenge, I made sure I was liking everything that they were posting. I was engaging with what they were saying. I was commenting back. I was DMing them. I was really showing up, even though this was a free thing that they were continuing to get already. I had a free Instagram, right? But if they were gonna show up for me, I'm gonna show up for them. So show up for people, over deliver more than you think that you should, because it's going to come back again. Show up for people, be genuine in that. And that leads into the next thing, which is repeat yourself over and over and over again. So when I finally went into my launch after my free product, I did like 3 lives a day. I'm not even kidding you. I showed up consistently. And a lot of people will get in their head and say, well, that's too much, you're gonna annoy people. But the reality is Algorithms are everywhere and you can't really control anything. So some people might see you repeating yourself, a lot of people will not. That's the reality. And what you want to do within that is find your passion, because that passion is going to fuel you to continue to talk about it, to continue to show up, to continue to be real and engaging as to why it's going to be so beneficial, to answer people's questions. And when I'm connecting with people in that way, that allows them to trust what I'm saying, trust what I'm putting out. It allows them to trust that this thing that they're going to buy is actually going to help. So over-deliver, repeat yourself, show up for people, and ask for support. Give, give, give. The more that you do that, I promise the more that it's going to come back, and you'll be surprised what can happen.